Yeah, so why this place? There's a lot of places to train. This is a really special place to train. Flagstaff came on the map, you know, when Mexico City awarded the Olympics. This is 50 years ago. The sports scientists realized they didn't know a whole lot about training at altitude, and so they looked at Alamosa, they looked at Flagstaff, they looked at South Lake Tahoe, and they tried to gather data and research on how they can use altitude to prepare for the Mexico City Olympics. So this at that time was a little logging town on this old historical Route 66. A bunch of cowboys out here. A really raw place. You know, even in the 60s, it felt probably like it was 1900 out here. One of my mentors, Dr. Jack Daniels, he first came out here, and there was some. Yeah, there was actually some history here with some great athletes of that time. George Young was an Arizona guy who had been training here forever. Flagstaff, kind of funny. This used to be a place where you would go disappear, and now this is a place where you're very, very seen. Hang on one sec, I'm gonna help give this guy a bike. Yo, dude.
Let me get it off real quick.
How far did you run?
2.
Heads up, man. Let me pull over a little bit. Full service operation here at NAU Track and Field. So you want to run a little bit, and then we provide you a bicycle? No problem. Aldo. What'd that feel like running?
All right, I'm not as warmed up as I should be. This morning, I also could have slept last night.
Sometimes when you can't sleep, you know what that means? It's your conscience. I'm just joking with you.
I think it meant that I had a cold brew. Yes,
Could be that. Hang on, bro. Let me pull over.
That's it.
You good?
Yeah.
This road is busy right now. Why do they have so many? This is maybe one piece sometimes about these roads is you're battling all of America, recreating, and some of these guys are better than others as far as passing runners on a narrow dirt road. Anyway, so yeah, a little history of this place. Back in the day, this was a place where people would come to train altitude, but again, you would come, put your head down, and this is like pre-internet and pre-social media, and you'd come here and put your head down and just train. And the coaching staff is keeping fit. Anyway, that's an old time here that I think is lost. This was there was something about the solitude of training that I think allowed people to really go into themselves, and I think that translates with athletes. I think it translates even in racing. But kind of like holing up and, you know, just running in the morning and just having nothing to do but get ready for that second run of the afternoon and recovering and really just building a relationship with yourself and this big task ahead of you. And it's I don't know, I think we lose a little bit of that when altitude becomes the place to be and social media does what it does with it. So I like thinking of that time in Flag where this was a place where you would not only get really fit, but I think you could learn a lot about yourself too. The change, I think, with the research on altitude training as the decades went on, it taught athletes how to use altitude, right? So now you're into the 90s and 2000s where people actually have a formula Jim Stray Gunderson, Robert Chapman, these guys put in tons of work into just figuring out, all right, how do we use this? And so the big thing was, living high and training low. When that research came out, you start to identify altitude locations that allow you to sleep up at a higher elevation, but then drop down for your faster work. So here we are at 7,000 feet, but you can get down to 3,500 feet within 45 minutes, and you can get down to 1,500 feet within 2 hours. This is one of the qualities that separates this place from other places. In the 2000s through 2010, we had a center here called the Center for Altitude Training, which helped athletes with their training camps here from all over the world, not just runners, but anyone in endurance sport. What in the hell? We've got a traffic jam up ahead. We're in the middle of nowhere with a traffic jam.